Good morning, UCV, and happy beginning of Advent. Today's message was written around a poem from David Joseph Jr. Now, you'll hear my words woven around his. His are the better words. Mine are commentary, sometimes an echo. If anyone would like a copy of the poem to read without it being sliced up, let me know, and I will get it to you. Now, we've already heard from Isaiah this morning, who said, "They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore." That's what Isaiah saw. Not what was, not even what might be, but what shall be. And that's the thing about prophets. They don't just describe the world, they disrupt it. They stand in the rubble and say, there is more than this. They look at the empire and say, you do not get the final word. They speak of peace while the drums of war still thunder. They speak of light while the shadows still stretch long. And that's what makes Isaiah's vision so dangerous. It's not a lullaby. It's a call to resistance. Because hope, real hope, is not passive. Hope is not passive. It does not whisper only when the storm subsides. It roars in the middle of the flood, grips the broken hand and says, hold on. Hope is not a wish. It is not a soft-focused dream. It is not a candle flickering politely in the corner. Hope is a weapon. Hope is a form of resistance. Now, hope is not a wish. It is a weapon. Hope is a form of resistance. Hope is a form of resistance that walks into a room where futures have been stolen and plants a seed anyway. It speaks in courtrooms where silence is expected and sings in classrooms where books have forgotten our names. Isaiah's people knew what it meant to live under occupation. They knew what it meant to be scattered, silenced, afraid, and still Isaiah dared to speak of a mountain, of a people walking together, of weapons turned into tools for growing things. That's not optimism, that's audacity. Hope wears work boots, not wings. It is built in soup kitchens, in protest lines, in pews where tired saints still raise holy hands where justice not yet seen. And here we are, in one of those pews, tired saints maybe, but still raising our hands, still lighting candles, still showing up. Because hope stands when grief says sit. Hope stands when grief says sit. It rises when oppression says kneel. It keeps marching when the road has been paved with disappointment. We know this road. We've walked it. We've buried dreams along it. We've watched verdicts fall like stones. We've seen books banned, rights stripped, voices silenced. And still, we plant seeds. We sing. We build. There are names we remember because hope kept them alive, songs that survived because someone believed the melody mattered, movements that breathed because a mother refused to let her child grow up believing nothing could change. This is the kind of hope Advent calls us to. It's not the easy kind, not the kind that waits for the world to change, but the kind that changes the world by refusing to give up on it. Hope resists, not because it is blind, but because it sees too much to give up. It remembers the lynching tree and still dares to hang lights in the branches. It hears the verdict and still votes. It buries its dead and still builds. This is not naive. This is not sentimental. This is sacred. Hope is not naive. It knows the weight of history, but carries it anyway. It is not quiet. It's the drumbeat beneath the chant, the tremble in the voice that still says yes when the world has said no. So we cradle hope like a sacred ember, not delicate but deliberate. We tend it in the quiet hours, feed it with memory and movement, shield it from the winds of despair, not because it might go out, but because it must go on. So we carry hope like a fire in our chests. We pass it like torches down crowded streets and family tables. We protect it not because it is fragile, but because it is sacred. And in the days when the sky grows heavy, when your voice feels small, when the world seems unmoved, remember, hope is not for the untested. Hope is for the bold. Hope is how we resist without becoming what we resist. Hope is how we rise, how we rebuild, how we remember that we are still here, not by accident, but by audacity, because hope, true hope, will always be the beginning of freedom. So come, beloveds, let us walk in the light of the Lord. Let us beat our swords into plowshares. Let us light candles in the dark. Let us resist, not with bitterness, but with hope. Amen.